The off season is over and it is time for spring training, as we brought in a couple of new faces and the roster for the most part has kind of stayed the same. Caleb Ferguson was the first big addition that we made, a C potential 28-year-old left-handed relief pitcher. He played for the Yankees last season and he put together a really good year with a 2.34 ERA, 1.17 whip, and we signed him to a 4-year, $20 million deal worth $5 million a season. There is no option thrown in there. And then we also signed Caleb Thielbar, 74 overall, but he is 38 years old. He is another lefty. He's got pretty solid attributes, and he had a really good season last year with the Twins. He had a 2.14 ERA, a .98 whip. So whenever you see a whip under 1, that's very impressive. But we only signed him to a 1-year, $3 million deal, really due to the fact that he's 38 years old, and you don't know if he's really going to turn out to be that great. Tanner Scott was the next guy that we signed, and he's probably one of the biggest additions this offseason. Another lefty out of the bullpen, 30 years old. Attributes are really nice. Last season with the Marlins, he had 38 saves, a 2.92 ERA, and at 84 overall, I think he's going to be very valuable to us. The whip was really high, though, at a 1.43. We'd like to see more of that 2023 whip. We signed him to a 3-year, $15 million deal. Elias Diaz is the next guy, 71 overall, 34 years of age. Really solid contact versus right. And when you look at his numbers from a year ago, 12 home runs, a 282 average, 387 slug, 338 on base percentage, and a 725 OPS. That's just average. That's a solid season. We signed him to a 2-year, $4.4 million deal with a team option thrown in there. So if he struggles, we can always get rid of him after 1 year. Ahmed Rosario is the next guy. A lot of position flexibility, third base, shortstop, second base, and then he can play the corner outfields as well. Really solid contact, and he's got really solid speed as well. Defensively, he's not the greatest, but last year for the Rays, he had 6 home runs, a 269 average, 393 slug, and a 720 OPS. Yet again, another average kind of player. We signed him to a 2-year, $7 million deal with a team option also thrown in there. Here's probably the biggest signing, though, of them all. Patrick Wisdom, 99 power versus righties, 95 power versus lefties. He's an 81 overall, 33 years old. This guy is going to be very good. Last year for the Cubs, he hit 33 home runs, which was a career high for him. Only a 204 average, and on base was also a 295, 412 slug for an OPS of 707. If he can walk a little bit more and maybe add to the doubles, maybe 35 plus doubles, his slug will definitely go up. We signed him to a 3-year, $9 million deal, so a very cheap contract, and we have a team option thrown in there, so if he just sucks, we can get rid of him. That was pretty much the big offseason additions. Other than that, the team stayed the same. If you guys watched the offseason video, we tried to deal a couple of guys like Joe Adell. Nobody really wanted him. We thought about dealing Patrick Sandoval. That wasn't the case either. But here's a look at the 40-man roster. So here are going to be the guys that are competing for that final 26-man roster to start out this season. Another thing I should mention, this is going to be a 2-for-1 video. You're going to see the spring training here, and then you're also going to see opening day. So it's kind of a hybrid episode. We're doing some post commentary here. The opening day part of the episode is going to be live commentary. And then I'm just showing off our top draft picks, Eric Mott, Fernando Guillen, and Sean Skinner. They will not be on the 40-man roster to start this season out. Patrick Wisdom, though, is he has runners on second and third. This is my first at-bat with him, and I crushed this one deep to right center field. 97 miles per hour off the bat. The cutter is crushed for a home run. Patrick Wisdom, welcome to Anaheim, a 3-run shot. That was my first at-bat with Patrick Wisdom, and boy, did it just feel easy to muscle that one out of there. That 95 power versus righties. Ron Washington loves it. There's going to be a lot more of that to come. 33 from a year ago, looking to maybe hit 40 home runs this season, as his second at-bat is going to result in another home run. 100 miles per hour off the bat. The four-seam fastball is crushed to left field. Holy crap, 4 RBIs for Patrick Wisdom here in the very first spring training game of the season. 2 home runs. At this pace right here, the guy might hit 300 home runs in the regular season. Ron Washington is in love with Patrick Wisdom at the moment. One thing about this part of the spring training, it's going to be kind of everywhere. You're going to see a lot of different random stuff. You're seeing Mike Trout struggling so far this season. Nolan Shanuel is playing very good. Kyron Paris with that 222 average. And then Luis Rengifo, our best hitter from a year ago with that 273 average. Mickey Moniak also struggling with a .111 average. But we're going to get a look at Kyron Paris here. The thing about Kyron Paris is I think that he brings a lot of value on the base paths and possibly even defensively. It's at the plate where Kyron Paris has really struggled to do anything well, as against righties specifically, that 43 contact and 45 power is just not good enough. And when you're hitting a four-seam fastball right on the middle, 67 miles per hour off the bat, that's very weak contact. He has to improve his hitting in order to be kind of an everyday guy in the future. Defensively, though, I really like what Kyron Paris can bring to the table. He's got a really nice glove, and he's got really nice speed when he's on the base paths. As here we see him and Luis Rengifo turn 2 in the 7th inning. But other than that, that was all we really got to see out of Kyron Paris. Now we're going to take a look at some of these arms that we got in the offseason. Caleb Thielbar is the very first one here. He's already played in 2 games. He's not allowed to run, but he's given up a 1,000 average versus lefties. Here is a lefty, Steven Kwan. He's going to pop this one out to the man we just talked about, Kyron Paris. As you see, we're down 4-0 here in the top half of the 5th. Andres Jimenez, another lefty to the plate. Here's the 0-2 count, and it's going to be strike 3 looking. Caleb Thielbar has 2 outs now. He did allow a runner to reach first, but we're not going to really worry about that, as here's Josh Naylor grounding out to Nolan Shanuel, and it's a really solid inning for Caleb Thielbar. If we can get really solid innings out of these lefties that we signed, I think that our bullpen could be one of the best in baseball. This part of the game was supposed to be specifically for the pitchers, but I had to show off the Mike Trout home run as he makes the game 4-2. That one was hit 103 off the bat. Opposite field, and like I said, he was struggling in the spring so far. This right here, we were hoping could turn around his spring. It was his first home run. He crushes it 421 feet. And Ron Washington, it's kind of like, that's what I expected out of a guy like Mike Trout. But, like I said, this was supposed to be a pitching game here. We're supposed to focus on the pitchers, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue doing that. Ronnie Enriquez will now get his first opportunity, or his second opportunity in the spring, his first look at him from us. As here is Hernandez. He's going to force some hard contact at Paris, Rengifo to Shanuel for a double play. So Ronnie Enriquez gets the double play. His teammates are helping him out here, as now he's facing Ezequiel Tovar, and he's going to hit this one back up the middle, as Ronnie Enriquez will give up 2 base runners in the inning. So the whip is going to be very high. We're talking about a 2 whip, but the ERA is going to be 0 because he strikes out Chase DeLauder to finish off the 6th. A really solid inning from Ronnie Enriquez. How about Caleb Ferguson? He was our first signing in the offseason. He has pitched in a couple of games so far in the spring, and he's not done very good. But Connor Cox, can't believe I just said that name, is going to bunt and ground out to the third baseman. Here's Drew Romo, not related to Tony Romo, and he's going to go down looking, as Caleb Ferguson is having himself a very good 7th inning here, 10 pitches in. Here's John Kinsey Noel, 0-2 count, and he's going to go down swinging at the cutter. So Caleb Ferguson was a very good inning. The 2 lefties have looked really good. How about Tanner Scott? He's pitched in 3 innings. He has a 3.0 ERA. He has not given up a hit versus left-handed batters. Here is a left-handed batter, Kyle Manzardo, and he's going to go down swinging on the slider. It's the first strikeout for Tanner Scott that we've seen in an Angels uniform. How about his second strikeout in this game? It's another slider. Tanner Scott has that slider pitch down to a science. Here is De Los Santos, and it's going to be another strikeout for Tanner Scott. 3 strikeouts, and his showing here in the 8th. That is something I'm really pleased with. Now, one thing, Tanner Scott will not be our closer. We're going to continue rocking with Andrew Wantz going into opening day. If Andrew Wantz struggles, then we'll move on from there. But Ahmed Rosario, getting our first look at him here, he's going to go down with a check swing. He was not hitting the ball particularly well up to this point in spring training. He is 0 for 3 here in the bottom half of the 9th. Could he hit a walk-off? No, he's not going to. He's going to pop this one up to center field as he's working on an 0 for 4 day. But he'll get another chance here in the bottom half of the 11th. Runner on second. Can he walk it off again? No, he's going to pop it up to Andrew Vaughn as Ahmed Rosario is 0 for 5 in this game here against the White Sox. But he's going to get an opportunity on the base paths. He's got 88 speed, 42 stealing ability. Chad Wallach is at the plate here as Rosario is going to be running. Here's the play. Vaughn having trouble with it at first, and Ahmed Rosario's heads up base running is going to win this game for the Los Angeles Angels. If he's not going to be a great hitter, at least he can be a very good bench player, and he can get on there, pinch run, and he can steal some bags. Davis Daniels, the next guy we're going to look at here, 3.6 ERA. He started in 2 games, and he has pitched 10 innings here He's got a very good strikeout rate, over 9 Ks per 9, as he's facing the Rockies here, and Ryan McMahon will go down swinging. Chris Bryant here in the top half of the second. Davis Daniel. Here's the pitch, and he's going to get Chris Bryant swinging on the slider, his second strikeout. Really pleased with Davis Daniel so far here in the spring. Here he's facing another Rockies hitter, and he's going to get him on the slider, as Davis Daniel was a guy who got the late call-up last season. You know, he didn't do very good at all. None of the guys that we really called up did very good, as here he's giving up an extra base hit as the Rockies are looking to score, but the relay is perfect as they're going to get the runner at the plate. Davis Daniel getting some help from his defense. Taylor Ward to Zach Neto to Chad Wallach, I do believe, behind the plate. Another strikeout here on Chris Bryant. That's his second strikeout. Here's an 0-2 count to another Rockies hitter, and it's going to be a four-seam fastball for a strikeout. Davis Daniel has been dealing his fifth strikeout in this game. What about Fernandez here? He's going to hit this one on the ground to Shanuel. He takes it himself, and that would be a very solid 4 innings of work for Davis Daniel, as we are now 1 game away from the start of the regular season. So we're taking a look at our top players here. Ahmed Rosario, 256 average, leads the team in hits. Patrick Wisdom with 22 and 5 home runs for Wisdom, 5 for Moniak and 5 for Shanuel. Mickey Moniak turned around his spring real quick with a 306 average. But Andres Chaparro leads the team in average with a 333 average. And then Joe Adell, just a terrible player here, at least in this game. Taylor Trammell, guy we signed, he's 185. Caleb Hamilton, 208. And then Elias Diaz with a 135 average is just not good. Kind of worrisome a little bit. Nolan Shanuel with a 402 on-base percentage. That's very good. Andres Chaparro, 704 slug, but Mickey Moniak, the true leader, with a 597 slug. And then Andres Chaparro over 1,000 OPS. Really pleased with the way that he's played here in the spring. You know, it's a small sample size, but he hit for a lot of power last year when we did call him up. Zach Neto leads in WAR with 1.5. Ohapi and Caleb Hamilton with 1.1 WARs. Evan White, Joe Adell, and Oscar Gonzalez with negative WAR. Taylor Ward and Shanuel also with negative WAR. That's kind of a surprise. Looking at the pitching here, Reed Detmers leads in innings pitched, mainly because he kind of struggled in the spring, so we wanted to see more out of him. Davis Daniel was second in innings pitched, and this guy looks like he's going to make the big league roster. Last year, pitched an 18 2/3 with a 10.13 ERA, but a 2.16 ERA here in the spring is very impressive. Chase Silseth has also really struggled with that 11.35 ERA, 2.26 whip. This is a young, talented starter for us, 78 overall, but he has just not played well at all. He's had no minor league options used in his career, so he could definitely be sent down to the minors to get some better experience. Jimmy Herget and Robert Stevenson out of the bullpen were very good. Caden Dana, Michael Darrell Hicks, Chase Silseth, Chase Chaney, all with pretty high whips. Jose Soriano, another guy who's really struggled here in the spring. Maybe he could use a stint down at the AAA level like he did last season, and then he later got called up and was very good. As looking at the negative WAR players here, Caden Dana is the one guy that I really hate that we had to call up. We were forced to add him to the 40-man because if not, he would have been eligible to be taken in the Rule 5 draft. So I'm kind of disappointed that we couldn't keep him off the 40-man. Davis Daniel would get the final game here in spring training, and he would struggle. I'm just going to tell you guys straight up. He gives up a 2-run home run to Shohei Ohtani, 105 off the bat. You know, it kind of sucks. It's your last game of the spring. You're trying to prove yourself here, and you're playing against one of the best lineups in baseball, as James Outman would come up in the top of the first, and he would also crush a home run. So Davis Daniel allowing 2 home runs and 3 earned runs before he even makes it out of the first inning. So, like I said, it was just kind of unfortunate that he had such a great spring, and then he had to take on a dominant Dodgers lineup. As here is Andy Pages, and he's also going to crush another home run over the right center wall, and Davis Daniel would like to forget about this game. I mean, it was not the type of game that you are happy with, especially when you're trying to, you know, make a case for yourself to make the big league roster. I did want to get a look at Chase Silseth here and really see what's going on with him. As he pops up, Shohei Ohtani behind the plate, Chad Wallach would be there to make the play. So there's one out for Chase Silseth. Can't complain about that. Here's Mookie Betts, another very good hitter. Here's the pitch, and he's going to pop him up to Zach Neto. So Chase Silseth really allowing soft contact right now. He can strike batters out, though. Chase Silseth is not a guy that's just going to allow weak contact. He can strike batters out. Here's a 1-2 count to James Outman, And that one is a generous call at the plate by the home plate umpire, but Chase Silseth, who is struggling, will definitely take it. Here's Max Muncy, and he's going to go down swinging at the cutter. See what I mean? Chase Silseth can get strikeouts. Here's Mike Trout, 241 average. He's turned his spring training around as he's going to crush this one, 109 miles per hour off the bat. Clayton Kershaw, you cannot throw four-seam fastballs right down the middle to one of the best players in baseball. Speaking of one of the best hitters in baseball and best players in baseball, could he potentially be traded this season? I don't know. It's something that could potentially happen. Andrew Wantz, I wanted to get a look at him because he also had been struggling up to this point in the spring. And this is a guy that we want to be the closer. So if he's struggling, are we sure we want him to be the closer? Or what about Tanner Scott, who has pitched a lot better in the spring? Well, Andrew Wantz, we wanted to get a look at him. He gets the first out. Now he's facing Freddie Freeman. He's going to get Freeman to pop up to deep center field. Mike Trout is there to make the play for the second out. So Andrew Wantz just looking for one more out. Whip Merrifield to the plate. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Here's the pitch from Andrew Wantz, and he's going to get him to hit it back up the middle. Kyron Paris, moving his left, makes the play. So Andrew Wantz picks up a 1-2-3 inning to cap off spring training. Now we're going to go through here and send guys down. We need to make space so that we have 26 guys on the active roster. 14, unfortunately, are not making it. Chase Chaney's the very first one. Michael Darrell Hicks is the second guy to not make the roster. Caden Dana, it's pretty obvious he was not making the team. He's just not good enough yet. We're going to send him down to Double-A. Ronnie Enriquez is not going to be making the team. He's got a lot of room to improve. He's only 24 years old. Caleb Hamilton, he's going down. He hit 208. We have 4 catchers up at the big league roster here for spring training. And then Elias Diaz was the next guy I'm going to send down. I know we signed him to a contract, but Chad Wallach had been playing a lot better. Joe Adell sent down. He's going to have to pass through waivers. And spoiler alert, he does make it through waivers. I don't think anybody really wanted him. Jose Soriano, we're going to send down. He's got enough options. He just struggled here in the spring, so I thought it was the right move. Jose Suarez is the next guy we're going to move down. He's going to have to pass through waivers as well. Newsflash, he did. Oscar Gonzalez sent down, so we need to make room for one more player, and unfortunately, it's going to be Andres Chaparro. Reason being is because we needed Anthony Rendon at the big league roster. He's getting paid way too much money, but that is the big league roster. And that brings us to this point right here, opening day against the Chicago White Sox. As a reminder, this is our opening day lineup here. The bench consists of Kyron Paris, Anthony Rendon, Aaron Hicks, and Chad Wallach. And the pitching rotation, Patrick Sandoval, Griffin Canyon, Reed Detmers, Chase Silseth, and Davis Daniel will round out the rotation. The bullpen is Zach Plesac, Jimmy Herget, Caleb Ferguson, Robert Stevenson, Ben Joyce, Caleb Thielbar, Tanner Scott, and Andrew Wantz as the closer. But without further ado, it is time for opening day baseball. We are here in Anaheim. Chicago White Sox, who are off to a terrible start in real life, taking on the Angels. We're looking to have a better team this season. We're ranked the 20th best team in baseball on paper. Hopefully we can put together at least a 500 season, and we'll see. Can we improve upon our win total from a year ago? If not, we really need to maybe think about going into full-on rebuild mode. We are projected to finish 77-85, which would be 4th in the AL West, of course, only ahead of the Athletics. Ahmed Rosario projected to lead our team in batting average. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think a guy like Luis Rengifo could easily lead the team. But Patrick Sandoval takes the mound. It's our ace. Thought about trading him in the offseason. We didn't do that. He's also a trade candidate this season if we struggle. And he's a trade candidate next season if we struggle. Sandoval is a guy that I would love to keep around in Anaheim. But if we are just not winning games, he is a guy who has a lot of value. Andrew Benintendi leads off here for the White Sox. 17 home runs last season. The count is 1-1 here as we are underway here in 2025. Count is 2-2 now as Mike Trout is closing in on 400 career home runs. He is only 9 shy of that total. He should definitely hit that total this season unless he gets hurt here early on in the season. And I hope I didn't just jinx that. Here is the 2-2 to Benintendi. Here's the changeup, and it's a strikeout for Patrick Sandoval, his first of the 2025 season. And quickly up 1-2 here on Dominic Fletcher as he's going to miss with the two-seam. Count at 2-2 as Fletcher fouls that one away. As Fletcher's going to pop this one up in foul territory. Logan O'Hoppe is there for out number 2. Here is the dangerous Eloy Jimenez here, as he's going to get ahead here in the count 3-1. Here is the 3-1. Sandoval throwing a lot of pitches here in the first inning. But he's looking to get a 1-2-3 start to year 2 in the series. We're going to try and go slider on the outside. Here's the pitch, and Jimenez is going to hit this one deep to left field. This one's going to be a ground rule double as it goes over the left field wall. As Patrick Sandoval gives up his first hit of the season, and it was driven by Eloy Jimenez. As here is Luis Robert. One of the bright spots on this White Sox team, and he is going to give the White Sox a 2-0 lead as he hits this one to right center. That one is not coming back. So just like that, the White Sox have a 2-0 lead here. And Patrick Sandoval has thrown a lot of pitches here in the very first inning, 27 to be exact. Here comes the 28th as Yoan Moncada stands in, and he's going to make it 29 pitches. Can Sandoval get out of the inning? Here's the changeup in the dirt. Count is 2-2. The 30th pitch of the inning is going to be hit on the ground to Ahmed Rosario for the third out. 2 runs coming off of a Luis Robert homer to right center. As it's Michael Kopech on the mound here for the White Sox, a 3.9 ERA a year ago, 178 strikeouts. And that was over 173 innings pitched. As here is Nolan Shanuel standing in, 266 average last year, 15 home runs. He was killing the ball in spring training. He looks to continue his hot streak here as he is going to get ahead, 3-1 in the count. The 3-1 from Kopech, and Shanuel is going to hit this one on the right side, and it's going to be softly hit and played for the first out. Patrick Wisdom is projected to have a 199 average. I don't really think that's going to happen. If that did happen, he'd probably not be on the team. As Mickey Moniak will stand in, the count is 1-2 against him. He also had a very good spring. He's looking to continue it as he's going to hit this one to right field, and it's going to be caught on a line for the second out. What about Mike Trout? 23 home runs a year ago, 258 average, an 821 OPS with 79 RBIs. He's looking to have an even better season this year, get back to that true Mike Trout form, as he's going to swing and miss on a slider, a terrible swing. Counts now 1-2. Here's the pitch to Trout, and he's going to watch the fastball at the eyes. The 2-2 to Trout, and he is going to crush that one foul. 115 miles per hour off the bat, a slider thrown right down the middle. You're not going to get that one again. Here's the 2-2. He did get it again, and he's going to drive this one up the middle for the third out. Some hard hits by these Angels hitters, but just right at the defense. And here's Andrew Vaughn, as Patrick Sandoval will get started here in the top half of the second, looking to have a bounce-back inning after giving up 2 runs in the first, as Taylor Ward is going to camp underneath this one in left field for the first out. Danny Jansen, 12 home runs a year ago, 222 average. He is the starting catcher behind the plate here for the White Sox, as he's going to foul that one away to run the count to 1-2. Going to go with the backdoor slider here. Sandoval nearly hits Jansen. Here's the 2-2 from Sandoval, as this one's going to be hit on the ground. Rengifo is there to make the play. Holy crap. 2 away here in the second. Colson Montgomery now at the plate. An exciting young player here for the Chicago White Sox. His attributes are not very good, as the count is 2-2, as he's going to hit this one to right field. Moniak on the move, and he gets there for the third out. A good bounce-back inning for Patrick Sandoval. And here is the big addition, Patrick Wisdom. 33 home runs last year, a 204 average. The OPS was sitting at 707. That's really because Patrick Wisdom wasn't walking a whole lot last year. We're looking to get some better plate discipline out of him, as he is going to nearly kill the second baseman with a broken bat. Count goes to 1-2, and Wisdom's going to hit this one on the ground. Another hard hit ball, but it's right to the defense. That is 3 outs that have all been over 100 miles per hour exit velocity. The White Sox are just making plays, as Yoan Moncada made that one. What about Logan O'Hoppe? Was an all-star last year for the Angels, as he is in a 1-1 count. He's going to watch the curveball miss. O'Hoppe last year, 21 home runs, 255 average. 771 OPS, and 63 RBIs. A pretty solid season when it's all said and done. Kind of got cold at the end, but before the All-Star break, he was really killing the ball, as he's going to miss on the slider. And not to mention, O'Hoppe is a very good catcher behind the plate as well. It's not only can he hit, he can also play very well defense, as he's going to foul away the fastball. Here's the 2-2 from Michael Kopech, and it's just going to miss on the outside, and on the count, full Taylor Ward on deck. Here is the 3-2 count. O'Hoppe's going to hit this one to right center. Luis Robert is near the track for the second out. That one was hit 94 off the bat. We're hitting the ball well. Like I said, just right to the defense. And here comes Taylor Ward, a guy who got injured last year, and before he got injured was not playing well, was a strong trade candidate. Of course, he got hurt before we could make anything happen. And we're looking to get a lot better production out of him this season. So here's the 1-2 count to Ward, and he's going to foul away the slider. Michael Kopech throwing a lot of sliders here, and they haven't even been that good, as that one was perfect. 6 up, 6 down for Michael Kopech. Here's the 3-2 count to Brooks Baldwin. He's going to hit this one to foul territory. Moniak there to make the play. What a play, as Moniak takes it away from a fan for the first out. As Andrew Benintendi is up to bat again, as the White Sox reach the top of their order. Here is the 1-2 count, as this one's going to be hit on the ground to Rosario, as he throws on a Shanuel for the second out. As here's Dominic Fletcher at the plate, as he fouls away the slider. 1-2 count, trying to go up and in, as Sandoval is going to miss the zone. We're going to go with the 12-6 curve here. We have not thrown it yet this game. Here is the 2-2, as it's going to be a swing and miss from Dominic Fletcher, as that will end the top half of the third. Here's Luis Rengifo, our best hitter from a year ago, 278 average, 808 OPS, and 20 home runs. He hits better against lefties, but he can hit pretty decent against righties as well, as the count is 2-1. It's not the greatest, 59 contact, 54 power, but it's not bad at all, as he's going to get ahead 3-1 here in the count. Here is the 3-1 from Kopech, as Rengifo is going to hit this one to left. Benintendi on the move as he's there for the first out. Here is Ahmed Rosario, 6 home runs a year ago with the Tampa Bay Rays. We signed him in free agency. It wasn't the biggest deal. A 2-year, $7 million deal to be exact. As here's the 2-1 from Kopech, and Rosario is going to hit this one. Moncada is not going to be able to make the play. It's our first base runner. It should be ruled a hit as well. It is. The no-hitter is over. As here is Zach Neto batting ninth here. We're going to try and steal here with Ahmed Rosario. Here he goes. We're going to try and go with the hit and run, as he just got a late jump. Okay, 2-2 count. Let's try and run again here. That's something I want to be more aggressive this season and moving forward, is really just trying to tear up the base passes. Ahmed Rosario is not getting a good jump at all, and because of that, I'm forced to try and hit and run. As here's the 2-2. Neto lays off. 3-2 count. And we're definitely running here on a 3-2 count. With only one out, we're running. Neto's going to hit this one to left center field. This one's back at the wall, and it is gone. Zach Neto has tied the game. The first home run of the season for the Angels belongs to Zach Neto. 392 feet, 99 miles per hour off the bat. Finally, one of these hard-hit balls is hit over the fence. As Nolan Shanuel is up to the plate now for his second at-bat. He's 0 for 1. Here is the 2-2 count from Michael Kopech, as this one's going to be hit down a line but foul. Comes the 2-2 again, and it's going to miss for a ball 3. Full count now for Shanuel. Here's the 3-2 count. Shanuel is going to hit this one back over to second, and he's going to ground out again. Here's the 1-1 to Moniak, and he's going to hit this one on the ground to Montgomery for the third out. 2-run home run for Zach Neto ties the game here in Anaheim. Sandoval is back out on the mound here. Eloy Jimenez to the plate. Here's the 1-2 to Jimenez. He's going to hit this one on the ground to Neto, as he throws on to Shanuel for the first out. Here is Luis Robert. Hit the 2-run home run in the first inning. Since then, the White Sox have been unable to get anything, as Robert is going to hit this one to Rengifo for the second out. Yoan Moncada, somebody who the White Sox hoped would become a really good player. That has not been the case, as he's going to hit this one onto Rengifo for the third out. A 1-2-3 inning for Patrick Sandoval, the ace, as we head to the bottom of the fourth. For Mike Trout, he's 0 for 1. He lined out in his first at-bat, as Michael Kopech missed on back-to-back sliders. He's not going to do that again, as the count will go to 2-2. Michael Kopech, 62 pitches in here in the fourth inning, and Trout's going to get an inside-out swing popped up to the second baseman for the first out. What about Patrick Wisdom here? We hit 2 home runs with him in the very first spring training game, our very first at-bats with him. Back-to-back home runs. Can we get one here in the regular season where it matters? Here is the 2-1, and it's going to miss outside. Even if Wisdom doesn't hit a home run here, walking is a very good step in the right direction for a guy like Patrick Wisdom. He is going to hit a home run, though. It's crushed to center field. His first of the season. You can't put a slider in that location. 111 miles per hour off the bat as we have the lead. 436 feet. Patrick Wisdom is going to hit a lot of home runs here in an Angels uniform. We got him locked down for a couple of seasons. We got a team option thrown in there, so if he's really struggling and we don't want to play with him anymore, we can just decline his option. But we have a lot of time with a guy like Patrick Wisdom. And there's a good chance this guy could hit 100 home runs in an Angels uniform and it only be 3 seasons of play. I mean, this guy has serious power. As we have a 3-2 lead now, Logan O'Hoppe at the plate as he's going to watch the second ball go across. Michael Kopech has missed on that slider pretty much all day. Patrick Wisdom made him pay for it as we have a 3-2 lead now in the fourth inning. What originally looked like could be a struggle, 2 runs in the top of the first. Kopech retired the very first 6 batters he faced. There for a second I was thinking, well, we might get dominated. That has not been the case since that first inning. And here's Taylor Ward now. He's 0 for 1. Here's the 1-1 from Kopech. It misses high. Taylor Ward's hitting attributes are pretty solid. He just really struggled last year, and he has struggled so far to start this season out. Patrick Wisdom, though, has not. It feels like every time I swing with this guy, he hits a home run. Mr. Hurricane talked about it in his series. There's just some players that when you hit with them, it just feels smooth. It feels smooth when I hit with Patrick Wisdom. Patrick Sandoval will head into the 5th here with 75 pitches, as this might be his last inning. I don't really know right now. Depends on how fast he can work through these hitters here, as he's going to get the strikeout on Andrew Vaughn. Only his 3rd strikeout on the day. Patrick Sandoval really not known for being a big strikeout guy. Danny Jansen is going to look at strike number 2. Since the first inning, the White Sox have not gotten a single hit. And we're going to go with the 12-6 curve again. I think we threw it to Danny Jansen the very first time we threw it. Here's the second one, and it's going to result in a strikeout. 4 strikeouts for Sandoval. He's dealing right now. The curveball is so good, O'Hoppe's calling for it again, as this one's going to be hit up the middle. Mike Trout there to make the play. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Patrick Sandoval. He might get the 6th. As the White Sox will make a change here. Only 15 innings pitched for Garcia last season, but he had a pretty solid ERA. The whip kind of high. As here is Luis Rengifo, 2-2 count coming up to him, as he's going to foul the circle change away. Here's the pitch. Rengifo is going to hit this one to left field. This one will not get down. Benintendi there to make the play for the first out. Ahmed Rosario started off the scoring, or started out off the rally that resulted in a Zach Neto 2-run shot. But Ahmed Rosario got the very first hit of the season for the Angels, as he's going to ground this one over to Moncada. Not hit very hard at all. But here's Zach Neto, hit a 2-run home run back in the 3rd. We're looking for him to have a breakout season here. He's been pretty solid in his first 2 seasons, but nothing spectacular. Just really pretty average. He's going to hit this one hard to Montgomery, 105 off the bat. But once again, it feels like hard hit balls have been hit right to these White Sox defenders. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Garcia. Brooks Baldwin stands in here. Patrick Sandoval will get the sixth inning. He's thrown 88 pitches. If he nears, 100 and he's not working on getting that third out, we'll take him out. But that's a very solid start. As here is Andrew Benintendi. 1-1 count to him. 91 pitches for Sandoval here in the sixth inning, as that one's going to be fouled away. And we're going to go with the slider away, see if we can't get Benintendi to chase. Here's the pitch, and we do. Strike three, Patrick Sandoval, another strikeout. This guy has been electric since that first inning. Here's Dominic Fletcher. He is 0 for 2. He's going to swing and miss on the circle change. And we are going to go with the 12-6 curve. Here's the pitch, and it's going to miss. What about the slider away? Can we get Dominic Fletcher to chase? Here's the pitch, and it is going to result in another strikeout. Patrick Sandoval, 6 strikeouts through 6 innings of work. He's in line for the victory, 2 earned, and it all came in the first inning. A very good season debut for Patrick Sandoval as we lead off with 1, 2, 3 upcoming. Only 5 combined hits in this game, but there's been 5 combined runs as Shanuel will stand in. He's going to chop this one over to Andrew Vaughn as Garcia will cover for the first out. Mickey Moniak, he's lined out and he has grounded out 19 home runs last year, a very solid season. He's looking to have his best season of his career here, as the year before last was really his breakout season. Last year was a solid season, like I mentioned. This one right here, we're looking for, a spectacular all-star level season. As here's the 2-2 from Garcia. Moniak's going to hit this one to right center. Another very hard hit ball off the bat of Mickey Moniak. And this one is going to end up being a double for Moniak. 105 miles per hour off the bat. He hit one very hard to right field in his first at-bat. He's another guy that it really feels good to swing the bat with Mickey Moniak. The AI, in the CPU simulated games, Moniak may not be the greatest guy, but when I hit with him, I always feel like I'm hitting the ball hard. And this one's hit very hard by Mike Trout to left field, and it is gone as the Angels will extend their lead to 5-2. It's Mike Trout, Patrick Wisdom, and Zach Neto all homering for the Angels, as it has been a very fun opening day for the Angels. 388 feet, 108 miles per hour off the bat, as the Angels will erupt for 5 runs here in this game. As here's Patrick Wisdom as he stands in. He's already homered in this game, and we know he's got some serious pop in that bat. And with a 3-1 count upcoming, Garcia can't throw something right down the middle. Here's the pitch, and it was right down the middle, but Wisdom just barely fouled it away. Here's the 3-2. This is a hitter's pitch, as Wisdom's going to foul away the slider. We'll do the 3-2 again. Here's the pitch. Wisdom's going to hit this one on the ground to Moncada. He throws on to first for the second out. That's a hard hit ball just right to Moncada, who's had himself a very good day over there at third base today. We're going to Hoppy looking to join the hit party here, even though there really hasn't been a huge hit party. Only 5 total hits here for the Angels. Here's the 2-2 from Garcia. Hoppy's going to have another inside-out swing popped up to the second baseman, as that's going to end the 6th inning. A 2-run shot for Mike Trout gives the Angels a 5-2 lead. As here comes Ben Joyce. Last season, 8 2/3, did not allow a single run, a .46 whip, and a 34.5 strikeout percentage is very good. As Eloy Jimenez will stand in, he's going to hit this one over to Rosario, who's there to make the play for the first out. Ben Joyce is a guy who is going to have a long career here in the bigs, mainly because of his velocity, and he can also do things like that. The slurve gets the strikeout. It's Ben Joyce's first of the season. As here's Yohan Moncada here. 12 pitches so far for Ben Joyce. As there's the slurve hit on to Rengifo. He throws on to Shanuel for the third out. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Ben Joyce. As here is Taylor Ward. He's 0 for 2 here on the day, as Garcia will stay in for the White Sox. Taylor Ward's going to hit this one to center. Lou Bob is there for the first out. Luis Rengifo up 0 for 2 on the day. But I think now is a good opportunity to, kind of tell you guys about what my plans are here for Season 2. I think that I want to move at similar to last year's pace, but I think last season, Season 1, we felt a little bit rushed, or I felt a little bit rushed in making episodes. I felt like I was just skipping over too much. I don't want to do that here. I think this season might be maybe 4 episodes longer than season number 1. But the plan with this season is if we're playing good, I want to continue playing the game. If we start to struggle, I want to simulate. And then when we hit the All-Star break, in the draft time and the trade deadline, we have to decide, are we a team that in the future, are we going to be a team that is trying to play for championships, or are we going to be a team that has decided to really start our rebuild and, go headfirst into it? We have to make that decision. As far as our farm system goes, it still isn't good, so we're not in really a good position to trade prospects for developed players already. It's just not really going to work out that way just due to the fact we don't have that good enough prospects. We did get a lot of pitching prospects in the draft last year, so I don't really think pitchers is a huge need in the draft this season, but I think position players definitely are. So I'm going to approach this upcoming draft with the idea of getting a lot more position players, and if we see a pitcher available and we think, wow, that guy looks like he could be a really good pitcher, then I have no problem drafting him. I just don't want to draft as many pitchers as we did last year. Only one offensive player was drafted, and that was Sean Skinner. He's going to be a very good prospect and a good MLB player, I would hope, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. This season, like I said, is going to be a little bit longer than season 1, but if we're struggling, it very well could be the same length. As Touki Toussaint's going to take over here, and we're at the top of the lineup again, Nolan Shanuel. So I hope you guys are excited for season 2 as I kind of let you guys in on what the plans are for it. If we're playing good, the season will definitely be longer. If we're playing poorly, the season could end up being the same as season 1. It's going to all really depend on how we're playing. As we're going to bring in Tanner Scott here, 2.92 ERA a year ago. He's not going to be the closer here for the Angels. He was a closer in the Marlins bullpen. Now, if Andrew Wantz comes out here and struggles to close games out, then Tanner Scott could easily be moved to that position. But for right now, he is going to just be the setup guy. As here's the 2-2. This one's hit to left field. Taylor Ward on the move as he is there for the first out. I also don't know how long this episode right here is going to be. It was kind of a hybrid episode. I did some post commentary, really just so I could get through spring training, show you guys the highlights, show you guys, the important players and who made the team. Aside from that, here in the rest of this episode, I want to wrap this game up, simulate to the very first scouting cycle. So we're going to simulate probably 5 games after this. I'm not going to jump into any of them. So if they give me some situations, I'm just going to simulate them. We're going to look at these prospects, and then we'll wrap this episode up. And then moving on from there, the next episode, I'm definitely going to get a look at some of these prospects at the AA level. And then we'll really start to do some more of those situational gameplays. As Shanuel with an excellent play for the third out. Tanner Scott, 1-2-3 inning. The White Sox have 2 hits, and they all came in the first inning. Here's Mickey Moniak. He's 1 for 3, crushed a double in his last at-bat, and he just crushed that curveball. 6-2 is the score. What a hit for Mickey Moniak, his second of the day. That one was crushed 419 feet, 107 off the bat. This guy can kill the ball. I think a guy like Mickey Moniak could definitely have a breakout all-star caliber season here. Every year he's gotten better since his breakout season in 2023. As here's Mike Trout now, our 2, 3, and 4 hitters, all with home runs in this game, and our 9 hitter with 1. Here's the 1-2 to Trout, and he's going to swing and miss on the curveball. It's a strikeout for Mike Trout. Patrick Wisdom up, though. He started off the home runs for these 2, 3, 4 guys. Of course, Zach Neto hit the first home run. 97 power versus righties. He has 99 power against lefties. That makes it even crazier. And with a 3-1 count upcoming, this is a dangerous pitch that Toussaint is about to throw. Here's the pitch as Wisdom just misses the fastball. He runs the count full. Here's the 3-2. OMG. 3-2 count. That was a curveball that needs to be crushed next time. Here's the pitch from Toussaint. Fouled away again. The pitch. Touki Toussaint is throwing these pitches right down the middle. I mean, he's lucky that Patrick Wisdom hasn't crushed one yet. As Wisdom with a extended at bat here. The 8th pitch upcoming. Here is the 8th pitch from Toussaint, as Wisdom's going to hit this one to deep left center to the track for the second out. No strikeouts for Patrick Wisdom in this game, though, so that is a positive. As here's Logan Ohapi. He's 0 for 3 on the day. 7 hits for the Angels, and Ohapi's going to ground this one over to second. I'm not being patient with Logan Ohapi right now, and I kind of feel bad about it. Mickey Moniak, though, geez, this guy's got corks in his bat. As here comes Andrew Wantz, our closer. He's got his own entrance and everything. Hopefully he can be the closer for a while for us. I don't know if he's going to perform well. He really struggled in the spring. Here's his first opportunity here. And the crazy thing is, I don't think this is actually going to be a save opportunity, just due to the fact that we're up by 4 runs. I don't know if they've changed it, but I feel like if you're up by 3 runs and you come in the 9th inning, it'll be a save. I'm not really sure. We'll find out here shortly. Here's the 2-1, and this one is going to be fouled away by Brooks Baldwin. Andrew Wantz was pitching so well last year that he took over when we traded Carlos Estevez away, as Andrew Wantz is going to get his first strikeout here of 2025 on the changeup. Here is another look at it. A 7-inch break, 2,062 RPMs on that one. Here's the 1-1 count to Andrew Benintendi, who is 0 for 3 on the day. Here's the 2-1. This one's going to be hit down the line, and it is just barely foul. 2-2 count upcoming. Andrew on Andrew. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled away. The 2-2, fouled away again. Andrew Wantz, not somebody that has crazy velocity, can throw up to 96 miles per hour. As here is the changeup, and it's fouled away again. A long at bat for Andrew Benintendi. We'll go with the cutter in here. Try and saw him off. Here's the pitch. Benintendi with very good discipline at the plate. The 3-2, fouled away again. Andrew Benintendi is driving me nuts at the moment. Here is the 3-2. Oh my gosh, can we get this guy out? He continues to foul these pitches away. I'm not even going to say anything here. Here's the pitch, and it's going to result in a strikeout. Andrew Wantz with his second strikeout. He's 1 out away from finishing off the Chicago White Sox, a team that sucks in real life. Here's Dominic Fletcher. He's 0 for 3 on the day. He watches that one. He comes in with an 8-game hitting streak dating back to last season. As Wantz will miss. Eloy Jimenez on deck. 20 pitches thrown at the moment. Logan Ohapi wants the changeup. We're going to give him the changeup. Here's the pitch. Dominic Fletcher staying alive. As Andrew Wantz is getting tired here. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball, and it's going to miss the zone. Dominic Fletcher is going to walk. As Eloy Jimenez will stand in now. Had a ground rule double in his first at-bat, and that one just missed the zone. Right now, Andrew Wantz is struggling. 26 pitches. That one's going to find a strike zone. And we're going to try and go with the slur for the final pitch of the day. It's not going to work. As Lubob is on deck. Here's the 3-2. Wantz throws this one as Taylor Ward is there to make the play. The Angels win on opening day 6-2. Home runs by Zach Neto, Mike Trout, Patrick Wisdom, and Mickey Moniak gives us the victory. Only 2 hits all day for the White Sox, and they both came in the first inning. You got to be thrilled when something like that happens. Patrick Sandoval gave up the 2-run bomb in the top of the first, but he bounced back in a big way and got his first win of the season. In game number 2, Griffin Canning goes out and struggles as he gives up 6 runs in the first inning. Nolan Shanuel with 2 hits. Logan Ohapi had his first 2 of the season. Renhefo with 3. No home runs this time. Griffin Canning allowed 6 earned. He didn't even make it out of the first inning. Zach Plesac also struggled. And then Jimmy Herget struggled, and Robert Stevenson allowed 1 earned. When you give up 6 earned and your starting pitcher is out of the game before the first inning is even over, that's going to be a recipe for disaster every single time. As Reed Detmers will get the next game, and he is going to allow a bunch of runs as well. Or at least I assume it was him that allowed them. Yeah, 5 earned. 4 hits for Moniak, 3 for Shanuel, 3 for Ohapi, and a home run for Logan Ohapi. Reed Detmers allowed 5 earned. Jimmy Herget allows 1. Zach Plesac, Caleb Ferguson each allowed 1 as well. And Ben Joyce allowed 3. Allowing a lot of runs in these next 2 games here. as I thought we were going to hit scouting. Apparently not, as we are through the month of March. We are now in April. I think this is when we're going to get our first scouting session. So we're not going to get there today, just really because I want to get the opening day game here with the AA squad, and then we'll focus on scouting. But that is going to do it for episode 1 of season 2. This is not episode 1, obviously. I don't know what episode it is, but it is the first episode of season 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was kind of a hybrid episode, like I mentioned. Did some post commentary work for spring training just to get through that a lot quicker. And then we did opening day, and that was pretty much it. And as a matter of fact, we're going to wrap up this series against the White Sox. Jose Soriano has dislocated his shoulder at the AAA level. He'll be out for 2 to 3 months. He's going on a 60-day IL. As when we take a look at it here, 3 hits for Mike Trout, 1 for Wisdom, 2 for Shanuel, 2 for Ward, Rengifo, and Neto. Taylor Ward with the home run. And then Chase Silseth struggled in the spring, and he struggled again here in this outing, allowed 6 earned. Caleb Ferguson, Robert Stevenson, and Ben Joyce shut it down, fortunately. We gave up a lot of hits and a lot of runs in the first series of this season. We'll take on the Orioles next time. Davis Daniel will make his season debut, but the big focus of the next episode is definitely this AA opening day. At this point, I'm just yapping. I'm going to finish up this episode now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.